Should probably turn my microphone on to Deman so that he realizes when I'm back. That's the first time today, and well, I can't be blamed. It's been a long, long day. But yeah, let's try that out again. So Ari Soraka already banned out for logiX. LeBlanc, and LeBlanc. That's like Joe's awesome Frenchness coming in there. LeBlanc.
Actually, they call it LeBlanc. I think they don't even pronounce the C, if I recall. Some Frenchie telling me before.
Really?
As I say, Frenchie.
There we go then.
That's nice.
Some Frenchie.
So the bans coming in, there's going to be Ari, Soraka, and Mundo for logiX. Ari, Vlad, and Corky were the last ones, or Crocky as I've typed, which is nice. Can't spell on the previous game. And again, Twitch has been left available. Could go for it. Well, we will see. LeBlanc being banned out every single game against logiX so far. Olaf and Shen also were the targeted bans pretty much throughout this one, so they don't want to see that one. Corky had been left available, as I mentioned, was banned in the last game. Probably going to get picked up this time by nFaculty, so not going with that big tanky Urgot run that they had. It is available, but Vlad going to be top lane. Interesting first pick for logiX there. Vlad had been banned out last game, yeah, by logiX actually, by themselves. Trying to look at previous matches. Was available to them throughout the first series against Peculiar Gaming, didn't pick him up at all. So interesting one straight away, Joe. Switching round for logiX.
And I just saw an awesome line there in chat that I'm going to have to... Oh, Jax, really? Wow, okay. So we're going to see Jax in the jungle for nFaculty. And, or I say in the jungle. Maybe, probably top lane. Just thrown away there since it's on Soraka bot. Yeah, the line, that was an awesome one. Joe, amazing at French Miller, casting alongside races to the Frenchies Deman. That line just cheered me up a whole lot.
With one of my lines I pulled out earlier, you could say to the Germans as well.
Yeah, I noticed that. I'm not sure how many actually did. But yeah, obviously Jax locked in there. Most probably obviously going to be a top lane Jax. It's been a long day, and when he's picked up by Soraka bot who's got Smite next to him, then, you know, 2 and 2 equals 5 in Joe's world. Let's not forget that one. So what are nFaculty going to go with now? Obviously, Soraka is banned out there. Janna is already picked. Are we going to see an Alistair, maybe? For me, Leona is a better combination with Corky. I really like the Leona or Lulu also. A strong pick, obviously. And yeah, Lulu it will be. So Lulu, Corky, bottom lane. Rise going to be in that middle for nFaculty. And obviously we did see Rise the last time with nFaculty as well on No Equal. What a logiC's going to go for here for their AD carry and to counter in that middle lane onto
someone
Rise.
mentioned about Jax actually there. We are veterans of Jax, if you don't mind. I think you'll find there's Veggie that plays in EU Nordic East. He is the king of Jax, as well as Nautilus as well, actually, if I recall rightly. But yeah, actually he's HCL, isn't he, plays for? So he's probably got pretty well known lately. So obviously we've seen him a lot around. But you said Lulu support. He could be able to be top lane. We've seen him play top lane quite a lot lately. Kennen coming out again. This is what I actually kind of did expect, actually. Since I saw Vlad come out, I was wondering whether Kennen was going to come alongside him. Don't be silly. Oh, baited us in there. Nearly, I went with bated breath. It's like, no. But then again, it would be logiX that had taken it. Wow, okay. Interesting. AD Kennen with Xerath mid. This is, again, a very aggressive, pokey team from logiX, but they're not against the tanky team this time, so it may work in their favour.
Switch.
Oh, come on. Come on. It could be Jack's top, you see.
Jack's top.
Oh, you would. I would like it, but I.
Yes!
It's locked in! Yes! We're going to get Twitch in the jungle. Brilliant. Okay, we're going to see it's going to be nFaculty. It will be Sorakabot playing around Twitch. We saw it in the quarterfinals. It worked out so well. And, well, I'll tell you what, that is 2 very, very aggressive teams. I think we're going to see a lot of kills in this game, Joe.
I'm just typing on Twitter.
Twitch jungle picked.
Again. Yes.
Get yourselves in this game, guys. Get yourself... In fact, everybody watching now, tweet about it, because we want viewers to come and see the beauty that is Twitch jungle, and then he'll just go do crap.
I was going to say, we're gonna hype this Twitch up and then be like, meh. Which is 0-10-0 at the end of the game with just boots, because he didn't get any farm. all the time. Poor Twitch. But yeah, obviously we did see, for those that aren't aware, a Twitch with this team. No equal, couldn't switch as champion again. Mastery bug this time.
Of course.
At least they coordinated it along with...
Three of them come out with the same excuse.
At least they coordinated in terms of what's gone wrong this time. That's awesome. So yeah, Twitch making his appearance here on Twitch TV. I'm not sure that they really named Twitch TV after Twitch, but if they didn't, that should definitely be an excuse for doing so anyway. But yeah, we saw this Twitch in the jungle in the quarterfinal for, well, what were then the former homeless team, now nFaculty, up against, it's on my other piece of paper, it was ESC, it was actually, yeah. In the final game, in a best of 3, they went out and said, bam, Twitch in your face in the jungle. And he was awesome. He got fed. He did amazingly, amazingly well. And I am excited to see this one. Oops, I just banned someone from chat by accident. I wanted to ban the guy above him, so sorry, Morana, too. I have unbanned you.
You were after Premium XN, weren't you?
I was. I got him as well.
Wow, so just, okay, let's try and break this one down. We've got a 50-second lock-in, so we're going to have top lane will be a Jax versus a Vladimir. I'm not too sure how that one's going to work out. It's been a while since I've seen that lane working out. Middle lane is going to be Ryze versus Xerath. Well, Xerath's going to have such a range advantage over Ryze. Ryze is going to be dodging those lightning balls coming across every single time. Meanwhile, Kennen and Janna down the bottom against Corki and Lulu. Not too sure how that one's going to work out, because Kennen did cause problems before. Severus is very good on Kennen, although, as just proven in the last game, can get shut down very easily. Corki has got good range. Once he hits that 6, we'll be able to poke it out very well. But the jungle, well, Shyvana's going to be very quick in the jungle, but Twitch is going to be looking for kills, and he's going to cause everybody to be very much on the balls of their feet and ready to run. Whether they're going to go for top, whether they're going to go for bottom. We did see Twitch hanging around bottom lane quite a lot in the first time. But honestly, there's not a lot of stun potential, which makes me think it'd possibly be mid. We could see no equal, maybe Flash prisoning alongside Twitch popping out on his face. That's really the only place I could see him going. But this one, honestly, could go all sorts of shades of wrong for one of these teams.
And again, just to say sorry to Morana too, I've not seen him chat since I accidentally banned him and then unbanned him from the chat. I got called a lot of names for that one as well. So yeah, really, really sorry to you, man, for banning you from the chat. It's just because the chat scrolled down when I was trying to ban some guy for spamming random rubbish. But you got in there anyway. But let's get into the game, because this should prove, I'm going to say, to be an absolutely awesome second game. The first game was a sick one anyway. Let's be honest, 52 minutes or something it took, and it was 48 minutes. Either way, 50 minutes there or thereabouts was a great game. Let's give you a rundown of the teams. For logiX, we've got Intox on Janna, Blood Dragon on Shyvana, Severus on Kennen, Sleazy Weezy on Vladimir, and Akaizo on Xerath. Over on the other team, it's Fami on Lulu, Sarakabot on Twitch, Zimmy on Corki, Gipfudson on Jax, and No Equal on Ryze. Awesome game incoming.
Awesome game, we hope, incoming. After the last one, it's got to go huge, because that one was 50 minutes of awesomeness. It was a fantastic match, really a full damage team against a full tank team, and would you believe it, the tank team won. And really, what an absolute amazing match to follow with a Twitch in the jungle. You know, Twitch in the jungle? Something tells me they're going to go for the invade this time, nFaculty. And actually, they're going to walk straight across the ward if they go this route. And they are, they're going to go north? No, they're going to come straight across a ward, and this is going to give logiX the warning that they require. They're not really in a position at the moment. They're actually spread 5 ways. And, well, nFaculty going in there looking for picks. Looking for anything. Picks, that's Call of Duty casting right there. Looking for the pick. But, yeah, you can see logiX are going to back away from this one. And Xerath gets a quick blast across. Only caught on Gipfudson there on Jax. And they just continue the conga line out the way and back to the base. So, not picking up anything. And, well, logiX not really going to fall for it either. So Vladimir is going to return to top lane. Going to come back around. Going to leash off to help Blood Dragon. Shyvana is going to be very quick on the farm. Looks like the Wolves actually going to get picked up by nFaculty as well. Golem's going to get picked up by logiX. So pretty standard stuff for the start, despite it all.
Does that mean we're going to be seeing an early gank here from Twitch? Those wolves being taken away by his bottom lane. Soraka getting a little bit... sorry, I say Soraka. Soraka bot, damn it. Twitch, of course, the rat, the Mafia rat in this one. As nFaculty actually just took one of those wraiths away from him. And that pull is going to come leashing that red buff away. And Twitch is going to get to work here, taking out this red from the start. Shyvana is actually starting on blue this time. We've seen a lot of red starts in this tournament so far from the Shyvanas that we've seen in the jungle, and Sorakabot has now finished off with that red, and one more hit, and he's going to walk away. Red buff will finish off that second one, and is he going to go... He's taking the long route around towards... Yeah, I was going to say, he's taking the wrong... the short route to Vlad, the long route if he was going to Golems, but Sorakabot is stealth, and he is coming into this one right in behind Vlad, and they're going to go for that first blood. Vlad forced to use his ghost right off the start, and he is level 2. What did he put his second point in? Oh, he put it in his W, actually, in his poison, rather than the X-Punch to do a little bit of extra damage afterwards. But look at this. He's like, I'm Twitch, and I'm just going to stealth up, and then I'm going to wait, and then I'm going to shoot you in the back when you actually come off your turret. And there he is once again, just to be annoying. And that's what we saw last time from Sorakabot. Jungle Twitch. But to be honest, he didn't really spend that much time in the jungle, Deman.
No, he doesn't. But he does need to get those ganks to be useful. And against the Shyvana, look, Shyvana, they're playing it clever here. They realise they're like, well, Twitch is there, so Shyvana's like, fine, I'm going to invade. I've seen Moscow 5 do this quite a lot. It seems to work quite well, ladies and gentlemen. So therefore, I will do the same sort of thing. And Blood Dragon is doing that. Takes away the big wolf, comes around, and is going to take away the blue, which is a big, big hit. And that's going to hurt Twitch. So Twitch is going to have to pick up those ganks now. He's going to fall behind quickly. He's already at level 3, actually, because he did steal a lot of the farm while Jax was in that lane. But he kept Sleazy Weezy away. The question is, can he do enough to damage them off? Again, we can see them coming around the middle there, but that blue buff has gone, and that is going to hurt Sorakabot. As soon as he comes around that corner, he's going to go, oops.
Yeah, he's going to realise that very, very shortly. And Sorakabot's like, meh, damn it. Yeah, and that's a great read. That's a great read from logiX. And as you say, that's what they need to do. While they know that Twitch is going to be ganking, Shyvana can focus that little bit more about, about actually getting her jungle really solid, getting some good experience, get the cash on board. And, the rest of the lanes, because of the Twitch anyway, are going to naturally play that little bit safer. So we'll see how this works out. Sorakabot now up on the top side of the map. Again, down at bottom, we can see damage being exchanged there between Corki and Kennen. And,
reset.
Just reset his golem again, yeah. I think a little bit thrown off by his start here, by the fact that everyone's obviously, I guess, over at the event itself, I know that there were about 2,000 people still watching in the crowd. I guess they went a little bit crazy when that Twitch was locked in.
I did get messages as well from Riot Games as well. People are already going, whoa, Twitch has been picked, whoa! So Riot Games tuning in to make sure they watch this finals to see how it happens. And as it is at the moment, we are 5 minutes into the game, no kills coming out there. nFaculty at the moment in the middle. He's getting a bit of free farm because Xerath has gone back. Xerath with that one singular ring he's just been back to buy. So going back early actually on that Doran's ring. Oh, and a pink ward was that placed? It was, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. A pink ward placed there. Sorakabot was taken very low, by the way. And if Shyvana had kept on going, it could possibly have killed him out there into that bush. But obviously, we're not to know. Would have been very much blind going in there. Down the bottom lane, Zimmy and Fami have been pushed on towards the tower a little bit by Severus. Not sure how the CS is going at the top as well. Let's have a look towards that. Because remember,
Fami.
Down the bottom, yeah, Fami taken very low, in fact, the minute I switched away from that one. Actually, let's have a look at the CS across the board while we're at it, Joe. So it's 40 to 36 down the bottom, so very close down the bottom there. Rise in the middle, 42 to 13. Good lord, that's why Zach Akioso went back early, and he's going to get Sorakabot in his face in a moment. Comes around the side. That really what he needs is Rise to flash Rune Prison to secure the kill. He does manage to actually anchor himself with Sorakabot. Found as the point. Does go for the flash Runic Prison, but was completely out of position. Needed to go for it a little bit earlier there. I think wasn't a little bit mistimed between the two there.
Yeah, a little bit of mistiming. He needed to come in there a little bit earlier on. Obviously, I mean, they did take him fairly low, to be fair. He's used his flash as well, so no, it's not completely useless. But let's have a look at the two junglers here. Level 4 on Twitch, level 5 on Blood Dragon, and he's not far away from that level 6. And actually, he's going to try and work his way in here behind Rise, who should have enough mana here for the Rune Prison. Does he? Not quite. Xerath not got the damage there just to finish off that kill. But if I don't know if that CS had been going better for him, maybe by now he would have been able to have that damage. You can see Sarakabot with the Twitch just finishing off once again, and Shyvana is stealing away his Wraith. Will take actually all of them there with
Didn't want the last
on.
one, but got it anyway. Ooh,
Sarakabot.
Sarakabot's going to find Blood Dragon here. The ping goes out. Jax is going to come back, I think. Jax is already heading south, and he's immediately realised it. Jax was heading straight through that Tribush ward, and a quick warning there is like, yeah, I think I'm stood on top of a rat here. So therefore, I smell a rat. Damn it, I should have gone for that line. I should have used it, but doesn't matter. They're going to pick up the red buff here. Gibfusion had come down to help him out, and Jax will return back to lane. How's the CS going in that top lane? It is 47 to 30, so again, top lane advantage for Jax here, which does surprise me, although Vlad was harassed early on, remember. But that mid lane is the big CS difference for me, 29 to 55. That's at 15 already, and they did have a go at nFaculty, so nFaculty's been back to buy, got himself that Tear of the Goddess and the Ruby Crystal, so it's going to be got a lot of hit points, 1142 to 1000, and well, Akioso doesn't seem comfortable to me.
Yeah, he doesn't seem comfortable to me either. I mean, we've seen him go Xerath. We've not seen a Xerath at all in this one, to be honest. I'm not sure whether that was, you know, the call from the logiX guys in terms of, you know, what they wanted from their setup. Xerath was going to be the choice in there. Let's not forget you've got the likes of Kassadin in there. Cassiopeia, always a strong one there against Rise as well, in my opinion. And this time going out for Xerath instead. So, you know, we'll see about that one. Again, Twitch has not been successful coming into the lanes. We saw him having a go at Vlad early on, didn't work out. We saw him having a go at Xerath in middle, didn't work out. And as to yet, he is also behind in terms of that CS and well, his gold as well. We're going to see now this blue buff coming out. It is going to go over to nFaculty. Early smite used to get it down as quickly as possible, and will be picked up there by nFaculty.
Just make sure the poison doesn't steal it away there. I was wondering, is he going to use save his Q for last? No, he used it up. Could be a poison steal from Twitch here. Twitch sneaking in towards that bottom lane, on towards Severus. You can see Fami also in position as well. They are going to dive in for him. Going to get straight across. Good Janna ulti is going to knock him back. Severus, though, isn't going to get stunned down. The slow came out. Fami actually using the ulti on himself there. Probably should have used it on Sarakabot. Blood Dragon going to dive across on towards the rat this time. Really not in any position to do any damage, though. And seemed a bit of a desperation. It's almost like Blood Dragon's like, I want to gank someone. This isn't fair.
He wanted to get in there. Yeah, but again, that's just an ulti kind of wasted, to be honest with you. We can see the setup that they've got going on there. The wards in this right-hand bush, actually a pink ward down for nFaculty in that right-hand bush, just to stop anything happening there. And we are going to see this dragon started off. Now, the question is, how is this going to go? Rise is still in middle. Twitch is going to come in and be like, hey, guys.
He hasn't got smite.
Yeah,
he has. Oh, steals it!
Sarakabot stole it. He's going to die straight after it, and that's first blood, which, well, nice pickup. They're ahead in gold. They've lost first blood. Who did it go to? It went to Xerath, who, you know, that could have been a little bit, I say it could have been better, as if it matters really who it goes to, but, you know, Xerath has been behind to Rise, slowly but surely working his way back in, and that kill, that first blood, is really going to help him out in that quest.
Yeah, and was it worth it? I don't know, honestly, because he went to the AP carry, which doesn't help. You give your team global golden experience, yeah, and almost certainly was going to die. I guess if he'd have done it and then flashed out, but he hadn't got flash because he's only got exhaust to go with him. So the rat to give himself basically first blood. If it hadn't been first blood, maybe it would have been worth it, but I'm not sure on that one. I don't know. But they did almost get a kill as well on the way out. So if they'd have picked that kill up, I think it was Blood Dragon that was down to nothingness. If the rest of the team had been around to help out, definitely would have been worth it. Blood Dragon there, Severus being forced back. And that top lane, you know, continuing to farm. Gibfusion is starting to get strong. They have to deal with this Jax because he's going to become a huge problem late game.
Yeah, and you know, I guess the fact that they're ahead in gold means that Dragon was worth losing out for first blood in terms of a whole team thing. But you also have to think, all right, the team's ahead in gold, but how does it affect the middle lane, for example, now that Xerath has that first blood under his belt? We are seeing a push down onto this bottom lane. Not sure that Twitch is really going to have any kind of opportunity here, to be honest with you. As he will get off to the side of Severus, and they are going to kick things off. Attack coming in onto Severus. Howling Gale did catch Sarakabot, who peeks out there, gets a couple of shots off, and won't quite be able to finish things. And, well, he did use the expunge there as well, which did knock Severus down a little bit more, but certainly not enough to cause him too many problems. Akioso is going to have a bit of a one-on-one here with No Equal in the middle, and from what we've just seen there, I think No Equal's actually still the stronger of the two in there. Obviously, he is 109 to 55 CS, so basically double the amount of CS that Rise has, which is a strong, strong lead at this point in the game. We have just seen Jax go home. Already got the Cutlass build up, the build towards Cutlass, Ruby Crystal, no Magic Mantle, still on his T1 boots. Vlad got the Hextech Revolver finished, and an extra dome in there as well, with also the level 1 boots. So let's see where the next ganks are going to come in. Shyvana actually coming up through the middle there is Blood Dragon. Let's have a look at the levels between them. So he's currently 2 levels above Twitch. Level 8 on Shyvana, level 6 on the Twitch. And is this? I mean, this is the big thing, Deman. All right, it's great to see a Twitch, something different, if you like, but is it going to work out for nFaculty in the long run?
Well, he's not got the kills, has he?
Yeah.
That's the big thing, is what he got in the last time we saw him in the quarterfinals. He got them kills early on. In fact, he was 2 for 0 in the very first level 1 fight, wasn't he? Which is a big difference, which is really where the invade was kind of required for nFaculty, but they got spotted, they got picked off and realised they had to back away from it. And it's kind of backed up from them, but Zimmy is causing problems on this bottom lane. Severus getting slowed up there, but Zimmy's going to be built up strong here on Corki. He's going to be dangerous in team fights late on. Bearing in mind, Jax is going to be jumping in the face. They're going to be so focused on Twitch. When he comes out, it's going to be buying time for Corki and Rise to just do their damage. And Rise is so far ahead in this mid lane at the moment. Yeah. 50 CS, 14 minutes in. That is massive. He is absolutely dominating Xerath. I don't know. I wasn't really watching close enough on the early stages of how he managed to get such a huge advantage, other than the little engage they had. At the top lane, there is an engage. It is Sleazy Weezer on towards Potion. You can see the Vlad ulti is going to come out. Will he manage to get the kill? He's going to dive for it. Will the tower finish him off? No, he won't. He does get away. Very nicely done. Potion going a straight one-on-one, winning that fight out. Shyvana closing in. Will it be close enough? Oh, and he's going to use it to actually dash away. Think the tower's going to finish him off. Why did he do that? I don't know. Anyone please, answers on a postcard.
No idea, to be quite honest with you. The only thing I can really think of, to be honest with you, is that they're at the event and the crowd's screaming,
and he panics,
scaring the crap out of him, and he's like, "What do I do? What do I do?" And I've not timed it well enough. But yeah, brilliant. That's the second time we've seen that today. And the first time it had no apparent reason to it either. So I can really only assume that it's the crowd scaring the shit out of these players as they're playing.
It's got to be. Twitch is lingering there, and actually I think he got a little bit too close to the turret and kind of spotted by Akioso there. But yeah, don't really know what's going on. They're going to work their way up mid lane though. You can see Zimmy and Fami clearing out that ward, so Dragon is due any second now, actually getting themselves in good position. Jax is down there. Sleazy Weezy's made his way down south as well, so we could have our first proper 5v5 on here, although Severus is still hanging down that bottom. So if it happens, they're going to come from 2 different angles, and honestly I think if the timing's right here, nFaculty may take this Dragon away before they can react to this one, logiX, because you can see that Xerath and Vladimir are both in base. The question is, nFaculty don't really have the timing down, do they?
Hey guys, I'm going to point this out in chat now, where you're saying we need to learn that you get executed by a turret if you haven't been hit for so long. Of course we know that.
Really? When did that happen?
Is that new? No, well, that's not the point. Anyway, I'll discuss it afterwards because it needs to be brought up.
Yeah, Blood Dragon going to get dived on here. You can see the ulti coming in. Sorry about that, Cogmore. Sorry, Cogmore? Cogmore's not even playing the damn game. It was Severus. Severus getting dived on there. He's going to try and back away from it. Sleazy Weezy's been left as a sacrificial lamb. He's going to try and pull up and do as much damage. Actually, a lot of damage coming out to him. Xerath is pike him down, but nFaculty does manage to get him down. Can Xerath pick up a couple of kills? No, it was Severus that actually managed to get one. Big burst damage there from logiX ulti there, and it was Xerath managed to land them down, but as soon as he ran out of that ulti, he didn't really have a lot left, Joe. But yeah, going back to the timer thing, we are aware of that, and there was no way the timer was down when he just randomly turned around and ran into the tower.
Yeah, it was far too soon. Of course we know about the execution rule, guys. We've commentated enough League of Legends by now and played enough of the damn game by now to know that. But the point was, why did he do it so soon? Was he flustered? In fact, he had no idea that Shyvana was anywhere near there either. So in the end, he possibly could have even portaled home. That's why I said, with whatever the crowd was going, may have scared him and startled him, or just thrown him off his timers or whatever. But yeah, of course we know that there's the execution from the turret. That's kind of League of Legends 101.
Yeah, and he did have time to be, but the benefit of hindsight, the benefit of spectator mode as well, that kind of helps. And like you say, the only thing can be the crowd just jeering, doing something, just putting him off, and yeah, he just sort of surprised him a little bit, but God only knows why he decided to leap in there. Maybe he can't count, I don't know. 1, 2, 7, 9, 10. Safe! Let's go!
1, 2, 7, 9, 10. Yeah, but I mean, the one that we saw earlier on in the day, which feels like somehow yesterday by now, actually that was an Ashe with a double buff, but either way, Severus here going to get in a bit of trouble down the bottom. Prism going to come down. Severus is surely a dead man. Yes, he is. It's nFaculty that will finish that one off, and that brings us back to a 4-3 lead, and nFaculty still having the lead. The question is now, is Intox going to stay safe? nFaculty's legging it around. Don't forget he had the movement speed quince, which is why he was that little bit quicker at the start and everything. And he is a pretty speedy little monster, this Ryze. What, 405 movement speed, actually. He's pretty quick to zip around and really useful to actually have that, to be honest with you. It's not something we see all the time on these AP carries. You see Corki farming up at the bottom, doesn't want to take the turret just yet. He's more concerned with having this last bit of farm before that turret does go down, most probably to his minions here that are just stepping in there. But anyway, back to this Twitch. Level 11 to level 9. Currently Twitch 0-1-2. So he picked up a couple of assists in that last little team fight. But again, has he been instrumental enough to force having, to have that pick in there, to not have, for example, Mundo?
Well, I'm not too sure. He had diving on top. Blue buff has also been trying to steal away here. They're actually hanging on to it so that the Xerath could come and get it, and a good steal there. The rest of the team weren't in position for that one, nFaculty. And Sleazy Weezy's having problems on this top lane against Jax. Oh, baited him in this time. Does pop the ulti and pops the heal as well on the turret. And well, Fortune is going to have to back away from that one. And did use his Bilgewater Cutlass in there, I think he did. Yes, he did. And you can see the timer's down as well. So just life steals it back. Gets back in there, leaps back on towards Sleazy Weezy, gets a good counter strike on him as well, and again, Sleazy Weezy trying his best to lifesteal it back. Fuchin is going to have to back away from this one eventually, I think. Meanwhile, down the middle lane, you can see catching on towards Blood Dragon. Had to ulti his way away from that one as Sarakabot and nFaculty managed to combo up there, and really, they have to start getting the kills here, I feel, that nFaculty, because as it starts moving late game, the roaming ganks are not going to work. The ping's gone down on towards Twitch, so they realise he's heading down south, and actually they are backing away already. They don't have that tower bottom, that safety net that they did have there, and I think almost the crowd would be a little bit sad that Sarakabot didn't get anything there.
Yeah, they're probably really willing this Twitch on to get things sorted out. Actually, he's just going to come out of his stealth there in towards middle. And is obviously going to be spotted by the wards that were put up. And his skin's really annoying. I hate that Mafia skin. The noise. Instead of just one hit, it really annoys me. When he pops out and you hear like... It's like, shit, how many times did I just get hit there? And it's actually just one shot.
I've just been nailed!
Dead man. But yeah, it annoys the death out of me. But either way, we are going to see some pressure put down onto Severus here, who instantly replies. Gatling gun stuck on by Corki. won't bring him anything from that one. So still 4-3. It's a 3k on just under 3k gold advantage for nFaculty. If you just join us, of course, they are 1-0 up here in this grand final of the ESL Pro Series Germany. And again, Shyvana looking for a gank at bottom, and again, Shyvana was spotted early on. Now, though, we are going to see both teams stacking up, ready and waiting for the Dragon. And this is where we saw the big bit of action last time. Actually, Gipfutchen just gets clipped a little bit there by Xerath. And that's possibly going to be enough to force nFaculty away a little bit. Obviously, that ward was put in. Do they have enough shots? No, not quite to finish off that ward. But Dragon is now there for the taking. We're going to see a little bit of a poke warrior until we get that initiation perfect, I feel. Obviously, Xerath got a good bit of poke himself. And there is Rise. They're going to go straight in onto Sleazy, who obviously pulls himself up as soon as possible. Gipfutchen is in there, in amongst them all. Twitch has come out. That's a big blowback, and it's forced Gipfutchen into the back of the team. Can the rest of them gather any kills from this one, though? nFaculty going aggressive, considering they are in a 5v4, and they've not done that much damage. Actually, Soraka is still high HP. We can see Akaizo charging up his lasers, doesn't get the kill across. Actually, Sleazy Weezy's going to come back in for another attempt. No equal going fairly low. They're going to switch it on to Severus. Surely they can finish him off. No, not quite. He gets away. Big bomb from Corki, can't quite finish him off. Dragon's poisoned and everything, but he's resetting himself. He's had enough for being in the middle of this lot. And Sleazy is still waiting there. Intoc's going to go back. Blood Dragon and Severus are both low, and Akaizo constantly charging up his lasers.
They have to back away from this one. Just go back, heal up, and come back again. And honestly, that was great play by logiX there. The Janna ulti split Jax so far apart from his team. He was just absolutely nailed. He had Fami's ulti on him from Lulu just to make him big and do that big damage. He got in amongst them, but like you say, just very well split, really nicely timed there. And again, Vlad just baited them. He was like, yeah, well, I don't mind actually getting caught out because I'm just going to pull up away and just troll walk away from you. And Akioso's difference, and this immediately makes up for what could be some fantastic team fights. Gipfutchen might be a little bit too early on the Dragon here. Remember, there is that ward there. They know exactly that he's there on his own. The rest of the team are coming to close around. Can they catch on towards Blood Dragon? Blood Dragon will be the ideal target. Has that Oracle on. Gipfutchen continues to take down this Dragon. At the moment, Twitch has not joined the party. Twitch coming sneaking around the side. It'd be ideal if he can land his ulti straight across them. Here he goes, pops it. Will it be perfect timing? Counter-strike beautifully done from Gipfutchen there. On towards Severus. This time they do have the damage, and Sleazy Weezy also going to go down. Absolute destruction from him. And the Oracle does get saved, actually. No, he doesn't, because Shyvana did go down, so Oracle killed as well. So it's effectively getting a 4-0 there. Great exchange by nFaculty and the Dragon as well. Really worked in their favour. This time they were ready and waiting.
Yeah, they were ready for it this time, and the fact that they stuck around the last time was a little bit worried, eh? Like you said, better off just to get themselves away from that and come back fully healed up, fully ready for the next one. And that's exactly what they did, and this time they were better positioned and pretty much hit everything perfectly on top of that as well. Let's have a look quickly down at the CS, because let's not forget, no turrets have gone down. That's totally a lie. Bottom turret's gone down on the one side. However, if you look at the middle there, Xerath 147 to the 201 of Rise. So now he's been 50 CS behind for as long as I can remember, which seemed, even too early on in the game. Top lane, obviously, is Vladimir at 143 to the 156 of Jax. So Jax got the slight lead there. Bottom lane, 177 on Corki to the 183. So Kennen does have a little bit of a lead, but Corki sat on 204. Trinity Force is now complete for him, compared to Kennen, who does have Wriggle's Lantern plus that Infinity, plus the Phantom Dancer also finished off as well. And they're going to go for Baron at 26 minutes. There's a ward there. There's got no pink ward. They've got no Oracle, do they? No, there's no Oracle. And they do peel away. Was that more of a case of trying to pull logiX in there for a fight after how well that last one went? Very possibly.
I'm not sure. I think I think Vlad should have waited there. He went down there. There was a ward already there. They got vision of it. So whether Vlad was just sort of saying, I'm going to prove it. Oh, they're going to dive on towards Sleazy. And he's going to give Future taking the tower hits. And they're just going to get forced away. They have so much damage on these towers once they get ripped on them. Because Sarakabot and Zimmy will force up. But the problem is, Sarakabot is a long way behind in levels at the moment. He's the lowest level in the game, I think, actually. But look across. Yes, he is. Alongside Janna, which is a problem for them. He needs to be off farming somewhere. This is that classic case of Twitch from the old days. Needs to be away on his own, pushing them lanes, and then just stealth up and walk away when everybody gets near him. So we might start seeing that from nFaculty at the moment. That's going to be a bit of a problem as they start moving late game, because he's already started giving the red buff and the blue buff away, and so he's not picking up the big experience from that. And the rest of the team, you can see Corki going around farming up, taking all of his jungle away. So Sarakabot really going to start struggling. He's going to have to pick up some levels somehow, somewhere. And the 5k goal difference, it's not that big a deal at the moment. There's still very much an open game. We've already seen it with the team fights. They can go either way if they land just the ultis in the right place at the right time. So I'm sure this could be another 50-minute game.
Yeah, I think it's fairly likely as well from what we've seen today. You know, logiX, even when they had the lead in the games we've seen them, they weren't so convincing and actually finished them off. There's the Oracle finally with nFaculty, and he's actually not going to check in this corner brush here, and that will leave that ward in position. Fami actually needs to be careful not to get caught out. The great thing with Lulu, of course, she's got that mega slow on her Q on Glitterlands. We are going to see a bit of a counter-attack from logiX. And this is something we've seen time and time again today, Deman, is one team pushing, then they all drop back, and the other team instantly counters into, well, what seems to be the middle turret all the time. The question is now, what is logiX's next move from here? They've backed right away from it. Actually, Severus going to go in there, farm himself some raids, and it looks like nFaculty going to be clearing out over by Baron Pit. They know that they've been spotted now after spotting that ward that was already in. And they're going to set up a trap in this push. Not sure how effective that will be.
Not so sneaky is what that is right there. They did. Fami actually walked past the ward and didn't take it out. It just happens to have timed out. It was in the bush in the corner. And this time they will take that one down. Fami will pick that up. So let's have a look around the map. Well, you can see they've cleared out the lanes. The lanes are all pretty even. So it would be a good time for a Baron, but I'm not sure they've quite got the damage to rip it down as quick as they're hoping. They're at 29 minutes in. So it's going to be a full hit point Baron. You can see so he's going to get poked off. They do stretch it and see if they can peel off and attract any attention. They do. They find Blood Dragon coming down. Blood Dragon doesn't have a ward, and his Wriggle's ward was already used. And it is going to be no equal. Needs to get up with his team. So the problem at the moment is that neither team feels they're quite strong enough for a big team fight, which is why you start getting these standoffs. And honestly, despite the fact we've got two ultra aggressive team picks, it's actually countering each other out and nobody wants to go for the fight.
Yeah, the thing is, Twitch needs to farm really badly.
Yeah.
I mean, he's what, level 11, 85 CS to level 1346 CS. Just to compare there between the two. You know, Twitchy is one of those champions where his main strength obviously comes from the fact that he is stealth and he can end up catching out. He offers you that vision and all kinds of other stuff. But still, to be really effective, he's going to need to build up these items. I mean, up to Phage and, you know, Wit's End now on top of the Berserker's Greaves, couple Doran's Blades in there. Is that going to be enough for them moving forward? Not 100% sure about that. Blue buff is available for Rise now. Who's going to go take that one? And Sarakabot is just waiting around, and we are seeing actually logiX move over in towards Baron. They've spotted that Jax was down at bottom in the bottom lane there. Does that mean that they're going to go for this one, or are they just content with clearing out wards for now? That one will be taken away. So let's quickly press F2. What vision do they have of Baron? Absolutely none currently, nFaculty. They don't know anything that would be going on around this Baron area. But they're going to push out middle lane once again, and I imagine do exactly the same that we've just seen logiX do, which is go there as a team, try and weed everything out. Sarakabot obviously is the one that could go first, especially now as they see that Intox is in the middle with Janna, and that's the one with the Oracle on.
Fortune just stole the dragon away as well, soloed that one up. giving another gold advantage to nFaculty. And nFaculty going to continue pushing forward in this one. I think they'd be wiser off to go for possibly just force a tower maybe. But like you said, siracabot still needs the farm. Level 12. Has passed Famida this time, so he's at least started to pick up a couple, bit of experience here, there and everywhere. Not too sure where exactly. I haven't been watching his exact movements, but nFaculty again clearing out the wards. And this is that static period you sometimes got. You got to remember nFaculty 1-0 up in this one. logiX are up against it. They need to really drive home the advantage, and honestly, they're not seeing any advantage at the moment. The ward goes down. Oh, they're going to dive in. This stun went down towards Sleazy Weezy. siracabot wasn't quite in the ideal position there. He does manage to get caught out by Severus. Will get split across. Ryze taking down one kill. Will go for a second as well. You can see, meanwhile, he will pick that one up. It's a double kill for Ryze. Now they're going to turn around, and you can see Gibfortune still in there. Actually, he's jumping across towards siracabot. siracabot probably will go down to a Kyoso here, but it's only going to be a fatal kill. No, he didn't pick it up. And actually, siracabot stole the kill and the blue buff. Thank you very much. That was a 3-for-0 exchange, and well, surely, are they going to go for Baron? I'm not sure. They got the hit points, honestly. Yeah, they're just going to back away. Oh, siracabot! No, he's going to get caught. He was trying to port away with a ward next to him, and Severus says thanks for the free kill and the blue buff.
Should have jumped into the turret. But yeah, 10-5. It was a good encounter. I mean, siracabot really could have done without dying there. You know, he just got himself that kill, albeit a bit of a steal, to be quite honest with you. And he's got himself that blue buff. And you know, that's a nice bit of time for him coming in later. But obviously it didn't work out. He's got himself Giant's Belt, obviously, with that fade. So building up towards that Frozen Mallet. And we see in the red team, at least Lulu headed solo over towards that Baron area. Just wants to check if in the meantime any wards have been put down. She is going to find the first one here. And, well, just a bit of a case of playing for position, both of these teams. Like now, as you said, you know, we get these stagnant points in the game where both teams are on edge and don't really want to overextend themselves. We saw that fight kicking off there as siracabot did have a good vision. You can see that Gibfortune has once again started off Baron, has decided to back away. They are there with the 5. Where's siracabot? I can't see him, he's invisible. There he is, at the back. And I guess we're going to see the minion waves trying to be cleared up that little bit to try and stop any vision coming down this middle lane. But a very tense one, Deman, and you can understand it as well. In fact, 1-0 in the lead, which means they make a mistake here, they're going to have to play a third game. For logiX, they make a mistake here, and it's game over.
Yeah, no, just to pull back, of course, it was kill secured. It's actually something that we often do when I play games. It's everybody moves in to steal them kills. Oh, they could go for the invade here. They will go to try and go for it. siracabot was the target, not the ideal target at all. He's going to go huge because you can see the ulti on him from Lulu, but they do manage to catch in good position this time. But you can see Zimmy just pounding away with his ulti, dropping bombs on towards Akioso. Akioso will get taken down, go with Gibfortune, and now they're turning their attention. They do manage to take down one. Ryze picks up a double kill. Sleazy Weezy also going to get taken down by Corki, and that was huge again from them. And this time, I think nFaculty were like, yeah, okay, we do have the advantage, guys. Let's actually start making something from this one. They're going to move towards this middle turret. Shyvana is really going to be able to do nothing about this one. Gibfortune will take these turrets down. They have so much AD damage at the moment from Zimmy and Gibfortune. And siracabot, honestly, is just sort of causing the distraction on Twitch, is what I talked about earlier. Distracting away from the damage and just leaving free kills for Zimmy and NoEqual. They're just like hammering away the damage. Look at NoEqual, untouched. Loads of mana as well with that blue buff running.
Yeah, and that's the thing that they're doing wrong for me right now, logiX. Twitch pops up in the middle of them and they instantly they scatter. Yeah, and he's not really worth anything because, what, at the end of the day, he's still the jungler. And he's still under-farmed, and he's still not really got any items that do too much damage. And you can see him doing wraiths now, and it takes him like 4 hours to finish off wraiths. What's he going to do in a team fight? Probably not that much either. So that's the real problem that they're having now with the focus, whereas they're letting Jax, who's nicely farmed up, got the Gunblade finished in there, got Zeal, got a Phage. He is doing damage, and Jax is just romping around in the middle of the team. As you said, NoEqual. Having a great game. He's 6-0-6 now. Why aren't they focusing him?
Interesting. No equal's gone for a Will of the Ancients in there as well. I don't think I've seen that on Rise for a while.
I think last game had one.
Interesting.
Well, that was no equal again, but
yeah, I'm just trying to think. Is it for Fami maybe? I mean, who's going to benefit from? Actually, Jax is sort of semi-half, isn't it? He kind of. I honestly I couldn't remember. I'm trying to think really who that would be benefiting. Obviously. No, I don't know. I'm a little surprised by that one. I'd expect him to possibly build. What's he missing at the moment? He could certainly get a lot more mana in there. Let's put it that way, which would be the ideal item. But he's obviously choosing to help out the team. 14-7 are the kills, regardless. And I'm just questioning myself here. Sarakabot though is trying to farm up, and like you say, you know,
maybe just for his spell vamp.
It's purely for his spell vamp. That's all he wanted for. Right? Okay, that would make sense. 147 damage on Twitch, compared to 222 on this is basic attack damage on Zimmy, and Gimfochen also at 193. So yeah, I mean, like we said, Twitch is purely the distraction that they keep diving on, and it's just natural reaction. That's all that is reaction for years of fear that they've had from Twitches across games. That's all that is. It's natural reaction, naturally just turn around. If he was playing Evelyn, it would be the same sort of thing. logiX were a little insane to even try and go for Baron there. Oh, they've kept it tagged. It didn't even regen, and now nFaculty may be able to steal this one away pretty quickly here. You can see finally coming round. Fami got caught out. That's going to be the Vlad ulti going across. Sleazy Weezy is going to take a big burst, and again Zimmy just hammering away from range. Gimfochen got absolutely wrecked that time though. Sarakabot taking low as well, but it is a 2-for-1 exchange already. There goes 3. Zimmy picking him up. 1, 2, 3. Fami taking so low. Sarakabot actually targeted. Again, you can see the target on his head. Why? Why would you go for it? Xerath though picks up a double kill there just as he goes down. I'm going to go down without a fight. And Zimmy and no equal again, the last two standing. Zimmy really is doing a huge amount of damage along with no equal there, just grouping up beautifully for them. And a 3-for-4 exchange. Intox comes back in. He's got a barrel, he's got an oracle on him. You've got to be crazy to be doing this. Why when you get picked off? He realizes that Zimmy's got no mana, but the basic attacks will be enough, surely. He's just ripping him down, forces the flash. Bryce is going to keep on this one, has got the Willy the Ancients, like you said, and it will be a Baron pickup for nFaculty. A well-worked and well-fought Baron pickup, though.
Yeah, could have waited a couple of seconds.
Yeah, for the rest of the team.
For the rest of the team. But still. But yeah, and there we saw it actually. The spell vamp that he's got there, Bryce,
was outdoing the damage.
Outdoing Baron.
Yeah.
So you know, I mean, what's he selling? Yeah, 20% spell vamp. Awesome stuff. Just what you need. So yeah, Gimfochen coming back now, and he is currently 3-3-11, but his items are making him a very scary Jax. Jax is just one of those annoyances, isn't he? In your face, constantly. And actually, in that last fight, I was quite interested to see that Fami went low, even though, you know, more important players in his team went low than him, and he still stuck the ulti on himself. Didn't want to die, did he? But yeah, they could have maybe utilised that one a little bit better. You've got to give hats off to Akaizo on Xerath for actually getting a couple of kills on the way out for what that's worth. I mean, we have now Rise, who's currently looking very, very, very strong. His damage is going to be pretty insane at this point. 808, got himself Banshee's Veil, got himself Archangel Staff, Frozen Heart is done, Warmogs even for that health and the regen, plus the Will of the Ancients for the spell vamp. He is a very scary Rise. And that's one of the things with Rise, and they've said they want to rework this anyway. I'll talk about that in a minute. Sleazy does go fairly low. The fact that there are a lot of mana items, which is obviously what Rise scales off, which make you very, very tanky. Which kind of works out nice when you're an AP caster, to be tanky and to have yourself scaling off mana, which come with them as well.
Indeed, and they are going to dive on towards this bottom turret. Inner turret will go down. Very nicely picked up, and easily as well. So with this Baron, they're going to cause some problems, and no equal wants to just get onto someone here. Wants that runic prison. As soon as it goes down on someone's face, they are going to get dived on quite heavily. But the two most important players do have the Baron. Let's get it right. I mean, 808 Rise, 5011 Corki. They're the ones with the damage. And honestly, are they going to follow the siege? I mean, a big bomb goes in this time. Doesn't manage to land on anything. Just a couple. They're in the situation they just need someone to tank it, but honestly, I don't think Jax really wants to go in and tank it. So somebody could just you know, just switch the targets on the tank turret maybe, but I think they're a little bit worried that certainly Akioso could do a lot of damage there, and I think Severus could also manage to get in a couple of stuns. They're just still a little worried about damage. They don't feel they've got confidence. But and bear in mind, this is nFaculty. This is homeless just before this tournament. This could be a very big prize for them winning this tournament.
Yeah, and the funny thing is with Baron buff on, actually, Ryze has got more HP and he's also got more armor and magic resist than than Jax, which is interesting. But yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier on with Ryze and the fact that they want to remake him a little bit to make him more, I guess, fair, because he is very scary late game. Is Ryze, and if he wasn't scary enough, he's also 808 right now. But they need to make this one count. They started down with that bottom turret, and now they're going to take up this top one.
He was spamming them Qs. He's got a lot of cooldown on him. I didn't actually see how much he got. I'll try and find him in a moment.
Cooldown reduction. Oh, I'm clicking on Corky. That won't work.
40% cooldown reduction on him. Yeah, he's maxed out on the cooldown reduction. And that's got that blue on him as well. Xerath does manage to tank across to him and actually gets the stun on towards nFaculty, but obviously going to do nothing a great deal about it. And they continue to take the lanes down. Sarakabot has caught up a little bit in the lane, in the levels. He's 15 now. Fami on 15 as well. And, well, logiX, I'm just not sure. You can see them all sat in the base. It's like, we've got to defend it, but we don't know where they've gone. They've all backed off, and there's not a great deal he can do about it. logiX just have to win a big team fight on a turret here. There's nothing else they can do. Sleazyweezy's really the only one that can leave that base. And honestly, not been convinced by Sleazy on Vlad in this game. Has had a few problems with Jax early on, and they just didn't deal with it.
Yeah, they didn't. And that was, I think, a little bit to do with maybe the start as well, where we saw Twitch come in very early. And I think that scared Sleazy a little bit, but, you know, made him feel that little bit more unsecure in this top lane. He's let Jax farm probably a little bit more than he should have. And, you know, later in the game, Jax is obviously going to make them pay pretty heavily for that one. How long does Baron buff have left? In fact, I think it's even gone. Yep, Baron has gone. Can't quite see it on Ryze because he's got blue buff running. 3 elixirs, oracles. He's got a Banshee's Veil around him. Just needs a Sunfire cape on now, and it'd be impossible to see anything that's got. But yeah, we are going to see this Baron as the next contested. But this is a position for me where nFaculty are in the driving seat. The question is, will they be able to push through there? Kid Fortune actually will flash over the top of the wall. Still not quite able to catch on to them, but is that enough for nFaculty to really force away logiX and get themselves ready for the start of this next Baron?
Yeah, forced the Queso to use his flash as well there, but just about landed it on time because the counter-strike had come out from Confucian and just about flashed the second he leaped in towards him. So quick reactions there. And nFaculty, well, they're ready and waiting to pick up everything. They're just conga lining around the jungle at the moment. It's like, well, nothing's up.
Where are we going?
Yeah, let's just follow Jax. I don't know. Confucian's like, what are you following me for? I'm just trying to pick up some free farm. If you don't mind. And this is, you know, this is a problem. This is something we've talked about with the German teams again. It's just like they have the advantage. They don't seem to close it out. I say German teams. It's all good teams, basically. Not the greats, though. They're good teams, not the greats. They can't quite match it when they come up against, say, your Moscow 5s, your Dignitas, your CLGs, etc. When they do come against them, which is why we've seen them. The few times we've seen them, they have been at these events, they just look inferior. And it's just that big, big difference that these top teams have. As soon as they get that slightest advantage, they just drive it home and actually punish you consistently. Whereas nFaculty, they're sitting back. They're actually giving time for logiX to continue farming. There you go, see Xerath. He's just continuing farming, building up. He was so far behind in CS, and now he's got up to 263 CS. He's got a decent build, actually. He could do a lot of damage, but Joe, they're going to dive towards Blood Dragon here. They will go straight towards it. It's actually Kennen. You're forced to use his ulti. He was a long way out. There's a lot of good damage coming out. Blood Dragon will go down. They do manage to take down Ryze though this time, so they've really got an important kill. Confucian also taking a lot of damage. Akioso is well off at the side, will manage to get a second kill down there. Can Sleazyweezy finish off on towards Fami? Fami very low, but they he just nearly walked into Xerath there, but it was a 4-for-2 exchange, and again nFaculty do come out on top. Akoso nearly going to be taken down. Sarakabot does pop around the side there. Oh, and Zimmy is going to dive in, and once Zimmy gets involved, it is going to be curtains for you, because the Red Baron is doing so much damage on Corki there, and he will just tank up, finally, that turret to take it down.
Yeah, minions coming in as well. That's going to help them out. And obviously, Twitch getting there as well. That Frozen Mallet is finished. Got a pickaxe in to help. But he's still a little bit behind, let's say. And they are going to back away. One, they spawn in the others. Actually, not for 15 seconds and 20 seconds. Rest of the logiX team will be pretty much back by then. But Fami can at least check that there are no wards in around there. Actually, they're going to start it off with Zimmy. They've obviously got Sarakabot there for the damage as well. Fami can't be standing too close, because if that Baron switches target, which it loves to do, like that, almost, Fami's going to get in a little bit of trouble. They should finish this one off. Rise is actually back there. Jax is going to be back as well, and there is Baron taken. Nicely done from nFaculty. And they are all going to head themselves home and shop up once again. It's over 15k gold advantage now. They've got Baron running. It's 7-3. It's 23-12 in kills. It's just a big advantage that they have to utilize and they have to close out. Because as you say, the longer it goes, Deman, it only takes one bad team fight once you start to hit this 50-minute mark, and it's curtains for you.
Yeah, indeed. That's all it needs to be. One bad team fight. You've let the other team be very strong. So if you do lose out, they're going to take towers down so quickly. And unfortunately, though, it doesn't look like for logiX that it will happen. As Capuchin again takes down that dragon. Fami is with him. The whole team has Baron now, and the final push should be due. Another 50-minute game, almost inevitably imminent, and a Twitch jungle. Didn't work out so great. Got to be honest this time around, 3-4-13, but honestly, he's been the distraction. So he's been the one that's actually freed up. I guess you get it in your Call of Duties, your CS teams, that you get someone that's distracting the opposition, and then the other guy will come in and just clean sweep them. And he seems to be that person at the moment. He's causing the distraction of enabling nFaculty and Zimmy to pick up all those kills between them. 8-0-13 now for Corki, 8-1-12 for Rise. Very nicely played between these two. Oh, Xerath just catching across there. And actually, they wanted to dive on him there. I think nFaculty was looking to possibly flash Rune Prison and just absolutely obliterate his face. Sleazy Weezy was they caught. Look at that. That was Zimmy. There was a lot of damage from nFaculty, and then Zimmy landed that big bomb in his face, and that just hurt him. Zimmy is doing a lot of damage right now. They're going to rip that turret apart, rip down the inhibitor, and a very easy pickup with that Baron. And now they are going to back away. I don't believe it. They are going to actually back away. They're going to clear out these super minions in this mid lane, and just, they need to push on towards the Nexus turret, for God's sake. Instead, they're going tutorial style, Joe.
Yeah, they're going all the way to the top of the top lane. They're going to clear out these minions, and then they're going to force it back down again. Yeah, that's exactly what they're planning to do now. Gitpunchin actually just will stop the next row coming out. You can see his attack speed pretty nicely high now. He's a bit chunky, is that Jackson? There's a lot of health among this team. I mean, almost 3k HP actually on Twitch as well. So you have to wonder where this damage is really going to come from for logiX to win this game. Baron is still ticking away on them. What has it got left on it? About a third remaining. Kaiser just charging up. And nFaculty don't want to make any rash decisions. They're waiting back on this one. There's the Oracle taking down the ward that was put in, and that will be a free ward picked up, and they are now going to move in. And Sleazy actually is going to try and make the best of this one. He has got the ulti across the pipe. Blood Dragon is in there as well, but they are absolutely melting Severus. His ulti doesn't do anything really, to be honest with you, and he's in there. He's got pretty much no auto attacks off, which is, his AD cannon. That's where his big chunk of damage is going to have to come from, and he's backed away again. And for me, AD cannon, we've seen it once work today, Deman, but the rest of the times I've not been convinced.
Now, compared to the Corki, I always go with Corki because he is a very strong champion. 9-0-15 for Zimmy at the end there. Gitpunchin causing problems as well. and nFaculty finally close this one out 2-0. And honestly, they've played impeccably today. Really well played by formerly homeless team, and now with nFaculty. You know what nFaculty are like? Wow, that was a pretty good pickup.
Yeah, they were like, should we have a team in League of Legends? Nah, I don't want to pick one up. Let's have this team as they come through. Yeah, and they're going to go through, win the EPS. So I always think summer, because it's so warm today in Cologne. Spring season 2011. Great performance there, not just in this grand final, Deman, but here in the studio where they played the quarterfinal. They were amazing. The semi-final, they had a great performance. 2-0 against NTW, absolutely battered Peculiar in that third place playoff game. They were long games, these two final games. I think 48 minutes and 51 were this one. But they've got there in the end, and they've got there convincingly. I mean, for me, you look, Rise 9-1-13, Corky 9-0-15. They're just some great performances. And when you've got a Rise and a Corky that strong, it's super hard to compete with them. There's not a lot you can do against them.
Yeah, indeed. There's not a lot, but I mentioned it. Twitch just distracted them. Gibfuchin was gaining in the face. They had to deal with those two, and he just freed up so much damage for No Equal and Zimmy to just lay out. And Fami, honestly, was pretty much untouched. In there for 19 of the, actually 20 of the 26 kills. So playing a brilliant support there as well. So very well played to them, and congrats, honestly, Joe. I mean, this is the second season I think I've covered of the EPS. They've generally been pretty damn good games all the time.
Yeah, we've had some great games. Of course, like you said, the teams aren't your Moscow Fives and your super top level teams, but they're teams that, for me, and this is the reason why we cast the Go for All Nordic and East as well. They're teams that are getting there, and actually they'll only get there by having people watch them and talk about them and give them the incentive to push forward, and that's part of the reason why they get this one. But that's actually it from us. If you want to watch the prize ceremony, guys, you should head over onto the other channel now, which is basically the same as what you've got, not ESLTV_Studio1, but ESLTV_Event, EVENT. They'll be doing the prize ceremony there live at the event. I just want to say a big thank you to Deman once again. It's now 1 a.m. here. I've been here since 10 a.m., so that's a lot of hours, basically.
14 hours, I think, casting, 15 hours sort of overall. It's pretty good.
It's been a day and a half, literally, in terms of casting time. But again, thanks, Deman. Don't forget you can check out Deman on YouTube at youtube.com/4Deman, on Twitter at QVDeman, and also on Facebook, facebook.com/DemanHD. I'm at Joe_Miller on Twitter, Joe Miller HD on YouTube, and Joe Miller Official on Facebook. So if you got any of that, go ahead and follow us. Basically, watch all the games that we've got on YouTube. I think that's the best way to go. And also, don't forget that next week will be more League of Legends action here on the exact same channel on ESL TV. So, follow or love or what it's called. I can't remember anymore. On the, the Twitch channel, because when we come online with this channel, basically, it's going to be League of Legends. On Tuesday, I'm going to be bringing you the Go for LOL Pro Asia, and CLG are playing this week. They are playing on Tuesday, 2 games, starting at 12 p.m. Central European Summertime, so European time, basically, that we've got now. Actually, they won't play the first game, but then they'll play eHome in their first game and one of the other Chinese teams in the second game. I think ZF is the other side in their group. That's how they're going to play on Tuesday. Wednesday, we'll actually have Go for LOL Nordic East finals, and something that I didn't tell Deman, actually, we'll also have the Nordic West finals from last week. We're going to spice it up a little bit this week by not going through the whole tournament and just having the best of 3 final first from Nordic West, which was played last week. Nordic West, EU West. And then straight afterwards, the best 3 final from the East, which is next week. So hopefully Deman could join me on that. Not asked him yet, but now he knows at least.
Was that Wednesday?
Yeah, that's Wednesday.
Oh, God, okay.
And then on Thursday will be the second play day of Go for LOL Pro Asia. Once again, basically, I'm really dying to have a wee. So that's going to be it from us here tonight. A big thanks to you guys that have stuck with us through the day. I know the numbers have been going up, down, all over the place, but they've stayed pretty solid throughout the entire day. So a big shout out to you guys all at home. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, what's left of it, of course. And I hope to see you on Tuesday for Go for LOL Pro Asia. Good night.
Good night, guys.